Good day, good people. It's another fine day in the year of the paradigm. But what a good chunk of what you're going to see over the past couple of weeks is actually not going to be from the year of the paradigm. I've had to sit down and think about how I would like to release this. Because we're starting off Fangan Fridays. First of all, happy for the first time, Fangan Friday. Oh, it's generally going to be the last Friday in the month, but I think just by the nature of some of these Fangans and how much stuff there is to, get into, so much to sink your teeth into, we might have to have some auxiliary Fangan Thursdays. And I've come to that realization, because I tried to put everything into one video and I was like, this is really, really long. Let's release it weekly. So today, and this is also just kind of a me thing, I was considering just releasing chapter 3 of the definitive edition, but then I said to myself, there's been so much like, so much of like an upgrade in a lot of the quality aspects of this Fangan, and I was like, if we're gonna do it, I feel like we should put everything, because there's so much additional work went into this definitive edition. It felt wrong to just release chapter 3. Especially since I had recorded all of it anyway, so I was like, you know what, let's just release the prologue today. Next Thursday, you'll get chapter 1, next Thursday after that, you'll get chapter 2, and the Thursday after that, you'll get the final chapter. And then it'll kind of lead almost right into another Fangan Friday, so that's kind of nice. And I think that's how we're going to handle a lot of the Fangan Fridays moving forward. If there is, if we can knock it out all in one video, hey, très magnifique. But if there's like, we can knock it over like 2 or 3 weeks, then we'll do it that way. So I've just kind of scheduled, or rather, after I finish this is right before I start rendering just the prologue. I'm gonna just render all of them, and I'll probably, in this one video, do like a brief little intro saying, it's Fangan Friday, on a Thursday, here's chapter 1, or something like that. I don't know, because, well, no, I think all of them do have a good day, good people, so I think we will be alright in that regard. Anywho, you get the gist of it. It's Fangan Friday, here's Danganronpa Lapse, the prologue of the definitive edition, so watch it now. And it's also one other part of this. There is an audience that I had, I think it was, 6 years ago, where I, first recorded, Danganronpa Lapse. Maybe longer than that. I think it might have been 6 years ago since, like, I recorded chapter 2. So, it might have been, 7 years ago at this point. So you might not remember what happened in this thing, and instead of going back, let's just re-experience it, recontextualize it, and, just have a good time together. Here's the prologue. I'm gonna stop rambling, because I didn't want this to be longer than 5 minutes, and it's not, so I'm cooking, so we're still cooking. Here is the prologue in the first ever Fangan Friday, kicking off September, or I guess ending off September, with Danganronpa Lapse. I'll see you guys next Thursday for chapter 1, the Thursday after that for chapter 2, and the Thursday after that for chapter 3. And it's gonna be weird because I'm gonna be rendering them all right now, which is, kind of crazy to me. But it is what it is. Get in there. 4 long years, and a lot changes in 4 years. Like, the whole lot changed. There's so much more stuff on the set than 4 years ago. 4 years is like, people go through high school, people go through college in 4 years. Pretty much every school that's not elementary school, or like a master's or like a doctor's program, is gonna be like, oh man, 4 years, we're done. Where were you 4 years ago? I was playing Danganronpa Lapse. Admittedly, one of the Fangans that I hold near and dear to my heart, and it completed a ways back. But in those 4 years, I got incredibly more busy. But now here we are, in the year of the resolve, and I thought, if I'm gonna finish some of these Fangans, or get back to some of these Fangans that have had updates, then I want to start by finishing off one that's finished. I'm gonna resolve one that has already met its resolution. And I think the perfect place to start, once again, I said one of my favorites, we are starting with Danganronpa Lapse, and I'm not sure exactly how I want to do it yet. But I do know, because I knew a long time ago, I think the creator, Mithridate? It's on the screen, never mind, yeah, it is. Mithridate. Redid, I think, all the character sprite work, and I don't know what any of it looks like, but I also only faintly remember, not faintly, I remember like death orders and motivations, but I want to go through the game again, because who knows if there's anything that's happened in the earlier parts, and in 4 years we have a lot of different people watching that might not have seen the original. So I think we start completely fresh, and over the next couple of days, I'm gonna play through it from start to finish. Which may be one complete upload for you. We might have a really long, this is the Danganronpa Lapse complete game in parentheses for the title, or we might do it chapter by chapter. All of chapter 1, or rather all of the prologue, all of chapter 1, all of chapter 2, all of chapter 3, etc. And I don't think this game is like super duper long in terms of number of chapters, because I don't think it didn't start with 16 students. You'll see. I don't want to spoil too much if this is a brand new experience for you. If it is, you're in for a treat. If it's not, hey, let's walk down memory lane for these first, I think, 2 chapters, is where we left off. And let's see this thing out. I'm excited. I am starting to like feel the excitement very clearly. We'd have to start a new game because we ain't got none left. But like, I do want to like pay attention, because if you go back to the original uploads, this menu so much better. You can tell that the creator learned a lot of like, I think, neat tricks probably going through what is this, Rimpy? I think that's what it's called. But yeah, the just the interface is a lot nicer. This crosshair, I don't know if you guys can see it. I feel like I want you guys to see the crosshair. Here. Because admittedly, I think I do want you to see the crosshair just for this game. Just so you see where I'm pointing at. For right now, we'll rock without it, but like, yeah, but I want to at least show it off a little bit. Here. Just real quick. I promise we'll get started. Capture cursor is actually on, so maybe it just doesn't show up. Or rather, OBS doesn't like the... But you know what? It's a really nice crosshair, and when you hover over a word, it does that animation, and the crosshair is highlighted. So, I think that's just really neat stuff. Let's start it all off. Oh, now you can see the crosshair! Jeez Louise! And a nice little notice, too. And it automatically goes away. I didn't click anything. Oh, man, look at that. And look at that. Oh, man, I want auto off. The heart of man is very much like the sea. It has its wait. Wait, auto off. There we go. I turned it off. Well, you guys read that instead. Actually, I think I can go back, can't I? Wait, turn auto off. Oh, I turned it on. That's entirely my bad. I think we can actually look at it in the log. It's just ringing. Man, I was certain, because like, I think there's like native commands for Renpy, but it looks like those might have also been disabled, which makes this feel like much more like a legit experience. Not to say the first part, the first time we went around this, it didn't feel like it, but like everything is just, I think, a lot cleaner. Everything's a lot cleaner. What is that sound? Okay. Hold on, look at this place! Look at this! I opened my heavy eyelids to an unfamiliar room. Oh. Guess I was asleep, but where am I? This isn't my room. I turned my head to see a small, old-fashioned alarm clock on the nightstand. The time read 7:30 p.m. 7:30? In the morning or evening? I reached over to stop the alarm when I suddenly felt a dull pain in the back of my head. Ow! I sat up from my bed and rubbed my head to shut off my alarm clock. Or the alarm clock, not ours. The pain subsided quickly, and then... It was then that I did fully take in my surroundings. I found myself in a comfortable room, the dopest room of all time. The soft lighting rested against the warm-colored walls. The furniture was devoid of any dust or dirt, and the bed itself was extremely plush. An unassuming painting hung just above my head. Look at that, y'all. Look at that painting. I ain't never seen nobody paint like that. That's incredible. Who was the artist? I scooted from the center of my bed and kicked my feet out under the covers and began perusing the room, of its amenities. A comfy, roomy closet. Not comfy closet. It ain't, don't go shoving yourself in the closet. Come out of the closet. A small writing desk in the corner and a single bathroom. It was overall a rather luxurious room without seemingly overly elegant in its design. The room is comfortable enough, but how on earth did I get here? Am I imagining this? I hope I didn't hit my head. It sure feels like it, doesn't it? I went to the bathroom, turned on the cold tap, and let it fill my cup hands with crisp water before splashing my face. Hey, it's him! Yeah, you know what? Slightly different attire, too. The chill snapped my senses awake as I took a moment to collect myself. Well, as far as I can tell, at least I'm in one piece. My treasure in one piece. I noticed my everyday coat was hanging on the hanger behind me, rather. I pulled my coat on and adjusted myself. It wouldn't hurt to recall the basics. There we go, that's the coat I'm used to seeing. My name is Echo Pine. I'm a student at the Calm Mind Institute, coming towards the end of my final year. My best friend is Ashley. Ashley! The last thing I remembered, and I like the sudden cut there, because it's not on auto, it cut itself. It was like him vividly remembering, oh my gosh, she was with me. I remember the last thing I remember seeing was my best friend Ashley, off for the day as she went to take care of the horses. Ashley. I wonder if she made it home alright. I admit I was a little less thorough in making sure she made it to the house in the late afternoon, but I'm sure she's alright. Or, I hope. I racked my brain, thinking about that afternoon, that evening rather. Oh, look at that smooth transition. The smooth transition out here. It's the subtle differences, y'all. Alright, thanks for the lift. Be careful with your ankle. I can't believe you insist on driving even though it's sprained. It's no problem at all, besides my ankle's almost done healing. It's no big deal. It's not like I drive with that foot anyway. I'm just worried since I can't walk you to the door. I wanted to see if Applejack was in a petting mood tonight. My house is right there. You don't need to worry. And if she is, I'll make sure to give that kitty a good little scratching for you. Alright, thanks. Night, Ash. Good night, Echo. Bye, Ash. Everyone wave goodbye to Ash. I left the car in the park. I left the car in park as I watched Ashley cross the lawn. Goodness gracious. I declined putting any more strain on my left ankle since it was still recovering from a sprain, but I remained vigilant. Her porch light wasn't on, so as soon as she got closer to the house, she faded into the evening shadows. I waited for a few more minutes until I heard her close the front door. Okay, time to get back. Look, I don't even think I remember this. I'm not sure if I remember the full thing of this scene. I'm kind of excited to go back, at least after finishing this, and see what the difference was between the first run through and the second run through, because things have, I think, noticeably ever so slightly shifted, just in presentation. In the presentation, I have to admit, very good. Like the little things, like even having like a little moving little circle thing here. I'm gonna stop. I'm gonna stop geeking. Let's get into the game. I shifted it back and drive and let the wheels crawl before accelerating. But upon my slow graze across the gravel, I didn't see her living room light turn on. I was worried, but I was certain I heard the front door close. Was I really certain though? I remember clearly driving off and not seeing her. Oh, wait, whoa. Nothing. Suddenly, a darkness welled up inside of me. Was I in this strange, unknown, remote location because I didn't make sure my friend was safe in her home? No, that would be absurd. Those two things can't be linked together just because I was less cautious than usual. I combed through the room once more, and realized I didn't have any of my personal possessions on hand or in the room itself. No phone to call. I mean, there's a phone right here. No phone to call Ashley to make sure she's okay. Sure, there was an ancient landline service phone in the room, but I didn't know where I was to begin with it. Wait. Wait, you don't know how to use this thing, my dude? No. Maybe I'm old. No, no way. No. Oh, man, I'm ancient. Oh, I don't like this game anymore. I take it all back. I started to panic. I had to get out of here. I got so caught up in my head in an unprovoked fear that I threw the door open with full force, nearly hitting the person just outside. And that person just happened to be... Whoa, watch it, Ash! What are you doing here? Huh? Echo? It was strange. The very friend I thought had suffered a consequence for not making sure, for me not making sure that it made it home safe, was standing right in front of me for some inexplicable reason. Ash, what's going on? You're okay. Ashley Westbridge, a dear old friend of mine. She's what some people would call a horse girl, which seems like a vague thing to call someone who just happens to tend to equines, but that irrelevant thought aside. Yeah, of course I'm okay. But what about you? You're as pale as a ghost. Ha ha ha. Just got a little worked up is all. I woke up in this unknown place and thought it was because I didn't see your lights go on in your house before I drove off. I rattled off thoughts, the thoughts that stirred my fears just moments ago. Echo, it's okay. You don't have to worry about a thing. I made it home to take care of Hyperion, all in one piece. I was just a little tired is all, so I went straight to the stables behind the house and took the back door entrance. Sorry I worried you. Oh. Yeah, but where are we? That still don't answer that question. You seem to be perfectly calm. Ashley wrapped me in a big, familiar hug as and I immediately felt calm. Thanks, Ash. I know I shouldn't get so worked up about stuff like that, but sometimes I can't help it. You know, one thought led to another, and I just jumped to the worst possible conclusion. Oh, Echo, you don't need to fret, so you needn't fret so much. You'll make yourself sick with worry. However, I can totally understand where your worry might come from, especially in this scenario. Yeah, just where are we exactly? Yeah, that is the question. With my mind and heart at ease, I discussed the situation with Ashley. I told her that I loved this text box as well. It's like a separation from dialogue and internal thoughts. It's just this is happening right now. I told her that I woke up not long ago thanks to the provided alarm clock, and her experience was just the same. She too felt the dull pain of a lingering headache upon awakening. She too felt a brief moment of confusion due to the unknown setting. I couldn't find any of my possessions in my room. I tried to find my phone to call you, but no luck. I don't have anything of note in my room either. I don't have any of the things with me that might, like my satchel or my phone. It's odd, although there aren't any answers to the obvious questions like, how did we get here, where are my things, etc. I strangely feel comfortable here. I think it might be the plush bed. Not gonna lie, I really like that back home. That one was pretty good by me. We laughed among ourselves and decided to explore what seemed to be some sort of mansion. I still felt uneasy, but thanks to seeing a familiar face rather, I felt a little safer. I closed my door behind me, noticing there was a plaque that was adorned with a symbol of my high school. Looking further down the hall, there are various other door plaques that shared same features. I spotted Ashley's right away as well. It seems that her room was just adjacent to mine across the hall. Looks like there are other students here as well, other plaques with other school emblems, I'm assuming. Yeah, seems that way, although I haven't ran into anyone yet. Not literally like you, of course. Very funny. The hall interior was very ornate, with dark wood lining the walls and candle scones, or sconces, not scones. Candle scones. Would you like your birthday scone? Delicious. Lighting the path. The dark wood was cornered in a thick, woven rug that created a path towards an opening in the hallway. I think I can hear some others down the hall. Wait, just for me. Can I can't. Did that ruin the recording? Are y'all still good? Okay, we're still good. I wanted to switch the screens. Actually, I think it might have not ruined the recording, but I see. Here, let me unlock this. In fact, give me 1 second. Okay, there we go. Perfect. I just wanted it not on. I wanted to switch screens real quick. Because this screen is the one that I naturally look at because it's more towards the camera. So when I was going this way, I was like, huh. I guess when I look at the screen right now, if I'm looking at this screen, it does look like I'm looking towards the game, where otherwise I would be looking this. Look, I'm just thinking about semantics. Not semantics, just like placements, but it is what it is. Ashley took lead as we curiously walked through the halls, taking the ambiance in as we gazed rather at the miscellaneous paintings of nature that hung on the walls. The sound of lively conversation grew louder as we approached the connecting room. I wonder who's in this connecting room. It's a nice connecting room. I kind of remember this room. Sure enough, there were 3 other people having a lively chat in the foyer. Oh, I remember you. Hey, you two. Good of you to make it. I was wondering how many people were going to come around. You couldn't just count how many doors and plaques there were in the living quarter hallways? Nah, I'm not attentive. Wait, I think I gave him the bro voice. Nah, I'm not attentive enough for that. I'll just figure it out from how many of you I meet up with. You're awfully carefree, aren't you? Yeah, it's because I have good company with you lovely folks. Oh, come on! What's with all the cold shoulders? I'm just here to have a good time. Here for a good time, not a long time. Yeah. The person with the hat continued preoccupying his present, less than willing company with his lively conversation. I quietly took in the atmosphere in the foyer before approaching the group. The main clearing was huge. It featured shiny white marble floors extending into 2 spiral staircases on either sides of its circular walls. An elevator resided in the center of the room opposite from the door. A beautiful grand chandelier, the chandelier hung from the center of a marbled ceiling just above a modest table at ground level. You better hope that chandelier don't fall or else you're gonna be out 1 table. And a chandelier, I guess. The wooden table was rather bare, only containing a decorative flower vase and a very polite note printed on premium grade cardstock. They spared no expense here. Thank you for joining us on this momentous occasion. Please make your welcome official by signing in utilizing the bracelets that have been provided. I don't know if I want to do that. Simply tap the bracelet to the digital kiosk that is located at the foot of the stairs. Well, I guess I got a bracelet. I twisted my left wrist to see the bracelet in question. Oh, it's got my name on it, Echo Pine. It was a light, simple thing with a rose-colored plate with my name on it, strung to a bracelet with a small chain of the same color. I hadn't even noticed it until now. Ashley was admiring hers just like I did. Her bracelet hung on her right wrist just above her own wood cuff bracelet. I looked over at the students with the student's wrist as well. They all the same thing, albeit presumably their own names on them. What was the purpose of these things anyway? Rather than get absorbed in wondering about the small decoration, I decided to join the small conversation. Don't mind if I do. How y'all doing, mystery students? Hello there, have you three already scanned your bracelets? Yes, we all convened just a few minutes ago. I would recommend you scan your bracelets on the kiosk as well, since it grants access to the rooms after your welcome. Well then, don't mind if I do, let me just get my wrist ready. I went over to the aforementioned kiosk that was nestled strangely, within the luxurious decor. It is kind of like, it does stick out. Ooh! Look at that! The kiosk displayed a simple map of the first floor layout by default. The foyer led to 4 different locations: the living quarters, the main dining hall, the study, and the theater. I'm starting to remember a lot of the people now. Just based on locations. It's all starting to really come back to me. I held my wrist up close to the screen and it quickly detected my bracelet displaying a sparse summary of information, my name, and a picture profile. That's me, I'm Echo Pine. Oh, thanks for signing in. You may now roam the first floor freely. Your bracelet corresponds to your room and your room alone. They are paramount in keeping your personal room and its belongings safe. Please take care of it. Please make yourself comfortable with all the given accommodations. Once again, welcome. The screen went to the original map, as it was before I scanned my bracelet. I stepped aside to let Ashley sign in as well. In the meantime, got to introduce myself to the other students. Who are they? Welcome. Hey there, I'm Echo Pine, and this is my friend, the reigning, defending horse champion of the world, Ashley Horse Girl Westbridge. Nice to meet y'all. It's the horse champion of the world. Likewise, I'm Arturo Campo Piano. I sure remembered your no, I just called him Art, I think. And you know what? That's why. But Art is perfectly, gosh darn it. I was like, I'm pretty sure I just called him Art. And then I realized, yep, that would be why. But just Art is completely fine. Missy Vesper, the pleasure is all mine. Canada. Have you all met before? That would be a negative. Nothing like making new friends though, right? Kanon said nothing, instead letting out a loud sigh with absolutely no subtlety, hiding her annoyance towards Art's enthusiasm. I see. That said, you mentioned you two were acquainted? Oh yeah, we were pen pals the summer before high school started, and we just became close over time. That's quite endearing. Uh-oh, thank you? I didn't expect that kind of answer from Missy. Maybe she's the type to secretly cry at romance movies. Echo, what the heck? Well, if we're all signed in, why don't we visit the dining hall? I don't know about the rest of you, but I feel like tea is in order after waking up. Admittedly, I didn't expect the horse girl to be a tea girl. You love to see it. I'm in favor of that idea. I'd like to explore afterwards, yes, afterwards as well. Yeah, I wonder who else we're gonna run into. This is exciting. Missy briskly walked toward the dining hall, which was just the opposite of the living quarters where we entered the foyer. Art followed quickly after I left which just left Kanon in the giant clearing. I'll explore at my own pace. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I suppose we'll see you later. Huh. With a curt and definitive statement, Kanon made her case, stating that she was going to stay put in the foyer. Ashley and I followed the other two in the dining hall, leaving Kanon to her own business. That type of attitude gets you killed, Kanon. Not early in the game, but it does get you killed, I'll tell you what. The dining hall was rather small and intimate. Oh, there's a really nice, like, fireplace. I don't know why. I just really like it. A single log woodcraft table and a modest chandelier. This place loves its chandeliers. Created well, it's a mansion, so yeah, it should love its chandeliers. Created the centerpiece, a black marble fireplace with a natural painting hanging just above the decorated far wall. The table setting bore 16 chairs, 14 on each side, 2 at the heads of the table. The heads of the table? 4 years ago, I wouldn't say acknowledge your head of the table. Would I? 4 years ago today, it would be January of 2020. So no, I would not be saying acknowledge the head of the table. The table was already decorated with light accessories, candelabras, small vases of flowers, and an encyclopedia about ships. The room itself was connected to a small kitchen, one with the usual kitchen staple appliances, an oven, a refrigerator, a large dishwashing sink, oh you love to see that, a gas range, and all the utensils and tools one might need. I wonder if I can use my controller to just cycle through the... I should have been prepared, I'm sorry. I'm kind of wondering if I can use my controller to cycle through the... I'm pretty sure I also thought about this last time, I just don't remember if I did it. Do I have my controller plugged in? No, it doesn't look like it. It's a future me problem. A small storehouse pantry was off to the side, with nothing of readily edible interest to the common person. Wow, this place is super loaded, huh? I made a beeline for the the side rooms rather, poking in and out of the dining hall, between the pantry and the kitchen. Missy, on the other hand, slowly gazed around the dining hall itself. It's a very fine setting, but I'm not so much that it feels oppressively high-end. Yep, everything looks to be in order for a good meal. Art finally stopped pacing around and sat at one of the tables, kicked his feet up onto the table. As he looked around the room, Missy noticeably shook her head at the action. But where is everyone? This place seats like a bunch of people and there's only 5 of us. I wonder if nobody else has woken up yet. Maybe the others ignored their alarm. Some people like to sleep in and all. I approached the natural painting above the fireplace, admiring the soft colors and brushwork. As I stood in front of it, the painting faded out to reveal what looked to be an emblem. Well, okay. Following the display of the emblem screen, an announcement came from the overhead speakers within the room, the voice silvery and modulated. Thank you for joining us today. We hope you have a lovely stay. Feel free to utilize the kitchen to your heart's content, or if you are unable to, you may use the automatic cook feature. I remember that! By tapping your bracelet onto the kitchen's digital kiosk by selecting a meal. Or if neither of this suits you and your particular taste, you may consult your group's ultimate level kitchen hand. Huh? The emblem disappeared, returning to the screen, the original artwork display. But what did that mean, an ultimate level kitchen hand? I turned to ask one of the other students, but it looked like Art had already figured it out. Or rather, figured something out. He started going on about the... what he went on about next made no sense to me. Oh, I get it. This is a safe house, this safe house is a private group. This is the safe house, a private group provided for us since we signed up for the preservation project. Huh? You signed up to be here? Yeah, of course. If I guessed correctly, I think we're all ultimate students. Yeah, all of us. Yep. Totally all of us ultimate students, huh? Sure is all of us ultimate students. There's some serious ultimate vibes, the ultimate vibes in this room, don't you think, bros? Yes, that seems to be the case. What's an ultimate student? Don't tell me you don't know. Oh man, what are you even doing here? Ultimate students are typically high school students that are super excelled in their field of expertise. They are often scouted by groups. I think I ended up liking Missy a whole lot. Redundant. They're often scouted by groups with various intentions, virtuous, or nefarious. They will often have a focused set of skills that make their abilities desirable to certain people, and with good reason. If there's a talent you can think of, there's probably an ultimate student out there that'll knock your socks off with their amazingness. So you're saying everyone here is super talented? You're kidding, right? You've been walking around this whole time with Ashley Westbridge, the ultimate jockey, and you didn't even know? Wait, that's my friend. Huh? Ultimate jockey? I don't really like to talk about my talent outside my usual day-to-day. I've heard of Ashley Westbridge's accomplishments. She can wrangle just about any horse and ride them to victory. It's quite impressive to be able to tame such creatures, any variety nonetheless. However, I've read that you excel best with your main partner, Hyperion, a Pinto Tankner. Oh my, I didn't realize my achievements were so widely regarded. It's a little embarrassing hearing your others remark upon them. Wow, even so. Wait, you were the ultimate jockey and you never told me? I thought we were like this. and then we I can't believe you. I'm our secret handshake. I looked over to Ashley, who despite the sudden grandeur, looks as modest as ever. Honestly, I thought you were just a typical horse girl. I don't know whether to find that humbling or insulting to my talent. So Ashley held the title of Ultimate Jockey, huh? I was curious to know what that implied. I never knew her to be particularly eccentric when it came to her her lifestyle at the stables. For how long during our friendship did she have that title? Enough about me. What about you two? I admit, I can't really put a talent to either of your names. With this newfound knowledge of the situation, I was curious to learn about the other students here. We'll start with Missy. What those individual groups or institutions do with students is beyond me. I've heard many stories of success or failure from anyone who's had the luxury of being accepted, rather. In any case, don't take too much stock in the title, is all I'm saying. Thank you, Missy. I have to admit though, I'm rather curious of the titles now that the subject has been brought up. That's understandable. I'm the ultimate tactician. Wait! We have so many tacticians in Fire Emblem, man. That's awesome. Like battle tactics? No, more like, yeah, well, not the right tactician, unfortunately. It's more like political campaign tactics and strategies. The less interesting of the two, people usually think of. I've been at the forefront of numerous political campaigns and battles, many of which have seen, I've been employed to strategize against opposing, or by opposing forces, rather. Really? Aren't you basically manipulating the winner, outcome then? The choice is not mine, but the people's. I simply put the message out, framing it in the most self-beneficial way for each side. I think that political campaigns can be interesting, but wouldn't the Ultimate Campaign Manager be a more appropriate title? Well, I'm not the one who came up with the title. I see. This seems to be a very self-assured person who doesn't seem to care much for the extravagance of an ultimate title implies. Hey, you know what? I like that. Art, what's good? Your name's Art, right? May I ask what your ultimate talent is? Sure, I'm the ultimate golfer, bro. Give me a club and I'm gonna go golfing down the range, hit it putt-putt style, whatever you got. As long as there's a club and a golf ball, I'm your guy. I'll never miss my mark. Total holes in one all day, every day. Wow, how did you manage that? I don't know. I can't stand having to put more effort into extra strokes, so I make sure the first one and the last one count. Which is goated. What kind of reasoning was that to become a pro golfer? That's an interesting way to go about it. I can't even imagine being able to control the club like that. It took a lot of practice for sure, but I got used to golf with my grandpa. It was a good fun back in the day, so I guess I never really thought about it as work, you know? I flubbed a few times, sure, but who doesn't? Art seems to have taken a whole lot of pride with this title, rather. It's admirable. Such captivating talents. I'd love to watch one of your games, Art. It's nothing. I bet horse racing is much more interesting. Indeed, your feats of athleticism are quite impressive. Yeah, I admit it's hard to imagine. It's really no big deal, Echo. Honestly, the whole ultimate student thing feels a tad blown out of proportion. Sensing Ashley was done with the praise, I shifted the topic. Well, now that we're all acquainted, why don't we look around some more? Looks like there's more to be seen upstairs. Oh yeah, it was a pleasure talking to you two. Don't be a stranger, we can explore together. Art's echoing voice sounded through the dining hall. Oh man, the kitchen features are cool. What's this? Clunk. On second thought, I might keep an eye on Art for a little while. I'm sure he won't mind the company. Alright, we'll see you around. Oh, Art. My gosh. Alright, we stepped into the foyer, and I bet there's gonna be a Kanan here. Nope. Never mind. Kanan's not here. Oh, where to? The stairs are going up, but I think we should check out the entirety of the first floor. I was thinking the same thing. Why don't we? Whoops. The other locations here are the study and the theater. Let's check out the theater. Let's go to the theater. Maybe catch a show. You can tell me more about your horses. Oh, the theater's different too. I think a lot of the background imagery has shifted a little bit. Like, I remember the curtain, and I think the curtain was like a more like solid shade of red. Something of that nature. I don't know. We'll keep going. Ashley and I walked across the, like, I'm getting like flashbacks low-key. Which makes sense because we played the first two chapters of this game before, but we gotta get in here. Ashley and I walked across the hallways to our next location, the theater. The theater was something to behold. Although it was fairly intimate scene with few rows and a medium-sized stage, it had an air of elegance to the decor. The rich red velvet curtains glowed underneath the gaze of a bright spotlight. The stage itself... Did I break it? Maybe I broke it. Hold on. Okay, I assume that it's actually about to switch music, and this is just the one like dialogue box that doesn't have music. Actually, so I think we're good. The stage itself was occupied by 3 students who seemed to be having a heated discussion. Yep, I figured. You really want to stand by that Wait, do you really want to stand by that theory? That game theory? Hey, to each their own. I'm not knocking you for not thinking about the obvious. Let's settle down, please. Absolutely not. I have no intention of changing for this scoundrel. Geez, scoundrel, that's cold, especially to a stranger. You two don't need to get so heated about something like this. It's an important matter between two strongly opinionated people. So we agree on that matter. Maybe I should cut in. Hey, what's going on here, you guys? The three turn around, surprised, presumably from not being able to see me at the unlit foot of the stage. You needn't ask such a foolish question. We're discussing the dire and apparent questionable existence of this! The white-haired student crouched down to reveal a painting that was turned away from the audience. It was a framed picture of what looked like an ink blot art. Oh, I remember this. As the Funya Rimpa! Oh, I see you're trying to figure out what this painting is. Yes. And what do you see? I stared at it for a moment, but looked up at the two patiently in all seriousness, waiting for my answer. I'll have to think about it. No immediate answer. I felt his judging eyes pierce my soul. It's a dog. Not everything has to be a dog. It's clearly an elephant. So, just a different four-legged animal. The conversation seems pretty heated. I might have better luck if I just talk to them individually. I remember all three of them now, admittedly. All three of them. You, what's up? The girl in the middle of the quarrel stepped down from the stage and left the other two glaring at each other in silence. Pandora Espier. It's nice to meet you. Likewise, I'm Echo Pine. Echo Pine, I hope we get along. So, I was informed that this little group of students is comprised, or composed rather, of ultimate talent people. Do you have some sort of title of some sort? Oh yes, I'm known as the Ultimate Baker. Alright, you guys, you know what that means. That's a talent related to food. That means she's dying. That means she's dying early. Nobody with a talent related to food survives. Pandora, it's been real. Put the F's in chat. Pandora Espier. Ultimate Baker. And yourself? Yeah, about that. I don't seem to know. I don't have one if I'm being... I don't think I have one, rather, if I'm being honest. That's no matter. It doesn't make you any more or less of a person. So, what do you think the painting is? I'm not really sure myself, but for something as ambiguous as that, it can be anything the viewer wants it to be. N'est-ce pas? I totally butchered that. I don't speak no French. I suppose so. Perhaps it isn't the subject of the piece that is the most important, but rather it is the emotion it conveys to the individual. Black and white are quite striking colors to work with, are they not? There's a lot of symbolism behind those two simple colors. But I wonder if the artist behind the piece enjoyed creating it. The art wouldn't have come to life otherwise, so I don't see why not. I agree. Pandora, she has such a warm presence. She gon' die. There's no shot she lives. Or she's put to... It would be great. Like, look. If she survives 2 chapters, she's the mastermind. If not, she's a food-related talent. So, you know, we should have seen it coming. I actually like all 3 of these characters a lot. We'll talk to our boy. I visited the white-haired student on the stage. So, about the painting, do you see the elephant? I think I do see the elephant. No need to feign understanding. I am quite self-assured the painting's intention was to illustrate an elephant, rather, as abstract as it appears. I studied the painting a little longer. The more I looked at it, the more I willed it to be what he claimed to be the song. Yeah, I can see it, like, here. You see, like, the tusk here. Rather, the 2 tusks here, the trunk here, and then the body here. Despite what being told what the subject is, I couldn't quite make out anything within the shapes. Now, you can see it. You can see the elephant a little bit. So do you have an eye for this kind of thing? An eye for abstract art? My friend, I am not the ultimate artist, I'm the ultimate opera singer. Although there's rhetoric and expressing character on stage, he rambled on about something a bit further before stopping himself. Right. But where are my matters? Forte solo, charmed, I'm sure. Forte! He gave a deep bow as he introduced himself, slowly rising as he looked to the painting some more, indicating an end to the conversation. He sure has some interestingly paced, dramatic moments. And lastly, as someone who looks like he might be a troublemaker, I approached the student wearing the fur-lined coat. So, about the painting, I think I do see the dog. Heh. You don't have to lie. I don't care what it is. In fact, I didn't even know what the painting is either, so I made something up. A dog is an easy thing to imagine, so it's just a practice of pareidolia. Pareidolia? The act of perceiving a subject or significance where there is no meaningful interpretation. For example, seeing objects in the cloud formations or hearing distinct voices and random noise. In this case, seeing a dog in an abstract painting. Dogs are common enough animals, yeah, so who doesn't like to think about dogs? I stared a bit longer. The more I looked at it, the more I willed it to being what he said it was, even if he did make it up. I can't actually see a dog here. You know what? I can kind of see it. Okay, yeah, I can see a dog, but like it's crouched facing this way, and like its body's turned this way, and its tail is what's coming this way. Alright, despite being told what the subject was, I couldn't make anything within the shapes. Isn't it a little cruel to make up something about it when he's so intense about it? I just wanted him to explain why he saw what he did, but he wouldn't, he truly wouldn't rather. So much for our friendly discussion. Teach their own, I suppose. Well, anyway, I'm just going around meeting everybody. Would you mind, I would tell you my talent if I had one, rather. You don't have an ultimate talent, or you can't remember. Huh? He seemed to be muttering something under his breath about my last statement, but I paid him no mind and waited for his response. I'm Lyle Termini, the ultimate puzzle master. Oh boy. A connoisseur of word puzzles, block puzzles, escape room puzzles, and the like. Well, this is probably gonna be okay, I'm sure. Now, if you don't mind, Lyle turned back to the painting, ending our conversation abruptly. Puzzles, huh? Maybe he was trying to unscramble the paintings, the shapes in that painting, rather. Ashley and I left Lyle and Forte to spat in their piece. Pandora stayed behind, trying to settle down the two. Poor girl. Whew, Lyle and Forte were kind of intense, huh? I'll say. Wait. I'll say. I don't know why you were impersonating me just now. I never really had a sharp eye for art, so I don't know what this whole hibbity-hobbity they're talking about was beyond me. And Pandora's brave for trying to calm them down. It takes a certain kind of person to want to intervene when things get heated, huh? Well, she's a baker, so she's got to stay in the heat, otherwise she'd have to get out of the kitchen, you know what I'm saying? Let's go to the study next. Off to the study we go. I don't remember the study at all, admittedly. Looks nice. The study was cramped, encyclopedias that filled the ceiling, covered an abundance of subjects ranging anywhere from the medical to the athletic. There was a small office corner provided for studying tomes in relative ease. Another digital kiosk stood off to the side, showing a searchable list of books for the study. Ashley observed the kiosk curiously as I gawked at the variety of reading materials stuffed in the shelves. Oh wow! This is an equestrian encyclopedia only published 2 years ago. I have an old version, so this could be really interesting. Ha! You would be excited about that, horse girl! Gosh darn it, Echo. What? Now that you know that I'm the ultimate jockey, it all makes sense? No, you're the same old horse girl I know, but with a fancy title. The two other students, taking residence in the library, one meekly hiding in the corner, and the other one calmly leafing through the book of their choice. I remember both of these characters, too. Don't remember their names. We'll talk to the meek student first. I approached the meek student standing in the corner, one of the darker corners of the study. Hey there, please don't freak out now that I've said 2 words to you. I said please! Sorry to spook you, I was just going around meeting everyone. I'm Echo Pine. I was dragged out of my room by that guy over there. He's evil. I peered over to the aforementioned person, looking to be calmly inspecting the row of books. Fine, he didn't drag me out. I ran into him while I was wandering around, and I just didn't want to be in the study alone. She saw me a troubled glance after admitting to her lie. Can you tell me about yourself? Me? I'm Sei. Sei Kono. I'm a watchmaker. Wait, would you by chance be the ultimate watchmaker? I guess you could say that. I just tinker with watches and stuff. They go for really high prices apparently, but I don't particularly care for the money. Say Kono, ultimate watchmaker. Someone once offered me 3 luxury cars for a what? Oh my gosh. I don't care for luxury cars, but I'll take the price. I'll take the price for it. You must have crafted some you must have some very well admired craftsmanship. I guess so, but I can't even drive. What was I gonna do with 3 cars? She clammed up and awkwardly turned back around to face the bookshelf corner. I didn't want to pry, so I just left her alone there. Hey, calm student, talk to me. She's a mess, ain't she? The green-haired student noticed me approaching him and deftly flipped his book shut with one hand and gave me his full attention. Good morning. I merely felt the attention to be near palpable from his focused gaze alone. You finding everything all right? The study has a quite pleasant atmosphere, wouldn't you agree? Yeah, it's very well accommodated, the study, as well as the rest of the facility, actually. All very nicely prepared. There's books. Books are nice. I'm nice. How are you? Indeed, you can spend the rest of your days in this well-kept study, enriching your mind in regards to whatever subject your heart desires. Does that sound like an inviting prospect? I don't see why not. A location for ultimate students should be in peak condition, right? The preservation project situation seems to be equipped for the comfort. So you've been made aware of the preservation project. He hesitated, was chewing meticulously on his next statement. Do you have an ultimate talent? If I'm being honest, I'm not even sure if I know what my talent is, considering the situation seems to revolve around it. Everyone I've met so far seems to have some kind of title. I admire your candor. Who knows? Maybe you have some sort of innate skill that personally, that makes that you personally think are average, rather. Fair enough. Huh? You think so? I feel pretty ordinary. I've never really been the center of mass attention for anything in particular. That skill might just be a specific habitat, so to speak. Luckily, this appears to be the ideal place and social environment for expanding upon such hidden abilities. I wouldn't worry too much about it. Whatever underlying passion or talent you have is for you, and you alone to enjoy. That's reassuring. I feel like I've stumbled into something out of my league with so many skilled students. If you don't mind me asking, what is your ultimate talent? It's hard to describe. I'm the ultimate charisma. Cyrus Surik. Forward, backwards. By the way. I get it. Look at the sparkles. He's so charismatic. Nice to meet you. Back at you. A pleasure. I didn't really understand the implication of his title, but I could sort of feel the alluring presence to him. I suppose that is what charisma is. After meeting these two in the study, Ashley and I chatted about the other students. So we met Say and Cyrus, a watchmaker and a charismatic person, respectively. I suppose I could become talented at improving their characteristics if they wanted to. One could be talented enough to change their grade. Yeah. Could be similar to managing a brand, perhaps? Maybe. Regardless, they seem nice enough. Yeah, Say it seems sweet, if not a little shy. A little? A little? Alright. Did we meet everyone? We met the 3. And then the 3. And then the 2. And then us 2. No, I feel like we're missing 2 people, but maybe not. After running around the first floor, Ashley and I paused in the living quarters to gather our thoughts. So, those are all the locations on the first floor. I guess the rooms are interesting enough, but more importantly, just how many other students are there? Other student from Kanon, just kind of the doors, right? Why don't we go check it out? But who knows if there are more students on other floors. There were stairs going up in the foyer, so we could check that area out too. And speaking of Kanon, I wonder what her talent is. Wait, that aside, how did I never notice that you had a super talent in horse racing? Huh? Well, it just never came up. I know a lot of people I knew a lot of people before you who didn't particularly care. for how much time I'd spend in the stables and the racetrack, so I just stopped bringing it up. Besides, it's just easier to tell people I tend to horses. So what does being an ultimate level jockey imply? Does it mean you win a lot? Come on, Echo, I don't want to bore you with superficial numbers. I'll just say my win percentage is 44% and top 3 percentage is 84%. That's pretty good. What do you mean you don't know what those numbers are supposed to mean? And then if she finishes in the top 3 84% of the time, and she wins 44% of the time. Goodness gracious, my dude. Anyway, I'm not just a horse girl, I have other pets too, like my cat. Yeah, like your cat, Applejack. Of course you'd remember Applejack. How could I not? She clawed up all of my school best. Classic. Hey, is there a body somewhere that's been discovered or something? I sure hope that ain't the case. Then an announcement came over what seemed to be hidden overhead speakers in the ceiling. It is now 9 a.m. This is still the morning? Oh my gosh. Ugh. Couldn't be me. Y'all did all of that before 9 a.m.? Yikes. I mean, I wake up for work before all this, so I mean, yikes, I suppose so. The second floor amenities are open and will stay open until 7 p.m. Second floor? After the announcement, we saw Pandora filter out of one of the first floor rooms and into the halls. Oh, Ashley and Echo, would you like to visit the second floor with me? Well, sure, we were just wondering about it as well. By the way, did you ever get anything to eat from the dining hall? Huh? Oh, no, I was a little distracted by the whole Ultimate Students thing. You're in luck, I made some croissants earlier. Here, help yourself. Wait, she just has croissants just chilling in her apron pocket? Yo, we can't lose her. We're probably gonna lose her, but we can't lose her. I accepted the small cloth-covered delight and unwrapped it carefully, revealing a small bite-sized croissant. A heavenly warm aroma filled the halls. From the fragrance alone, I was enveloped in the comfort of feeling the sun's rays on my skin. It was the East, and croissants were the West. Ashley and I took one bite into flaky, buttery dough. A piece of chocolate inside melted as soon as it hit my tongue. It was smooth and rich, contrasting the light and sweet crumb of the dough housing it. Oh, croissants. That's the ultimate baker for you. C'est delicieux. Why do y'all know French? Merci. But it's nothing at all. I just really enjoy baking. Look, y'all need to look. Ashley, you're great. Pandora, you're great. Me and Echo were like, what is this French thing you're talking about? I took Spanish, I'm sorry. Oh man, the look of people's faces when they smell delectable fresh bread coming out of the oven, the warm fuzzy feeling you get when you eat your favorite food, rather, such a feeling is priceless. Pandora was right. After enjoying the croissant, I felt an intense nostalgia for my younger days when I would spend the summers running around outside, basking in the fresh afternoon sun. That was the power of the ultimate baker's delicacies, to invoke a warmth and sense of familiarity. What a wonderful thing. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but I noticed that you two are quite close. Have you met before? Echo's my best friend. We've known each other for 4 years, and she still never told me that she was the ultimate jockey. Isn't that funny, Pandora? Ah, trace me, a long friendship. That is something to cherish. Oh, well, she's French now. Definitely, Echo's always been there for me, even though they're a little worrisome. Hey, how could you say that? I'm just looking out for you. I kid, of course. I really appreciate your concern, but you should think about yourself sometimes, too. Pandora smiled sweetly as we had our little back and forth. Sorry, why don't we get going? No worries, shall we? Shall we? You get it? Cause you know, OUI, that's the French. I know a little bit of French. I know we mercy, and that's about it. Three of us walked back down the hallway towards the foyer where the stairs to the second floor were. Hey Pandora, did you meet anybody else this morning? Anyone else? I can't say that I have. So far I've only been acquainted with you two, Forte and Lyle. Oh, sorry, I thought you must have run into a few others like we have. This morning I went to the dining hall, then the theater. Unfortunately, Forte and Lyle kept me from going anywhere else with their argument. I'm having flashbacks. I'm having some strong flashbacks, and I don't remember if it's from this Fangan or another Fangan. We'll get into it. If we didn't see you, then you must be woken up much earlier than this, huh? That's correct. I suppose you could say my internal clock has been tuned to my habits given my day-to-day life. I wake up very early to make sure I have enough dough from the night before that's properly risen, to prepare any glazes that I might need, prep my workstation. Oh, but I mustn't bore you with my daily routine. Oh, not at all. It's quite fascinating, honestly. You're sweet, Echo. Perhaps I'll invite you to help me tomorrow morning. Hope you wake up. I hope you're awake at 4:30 a.m. Look, I mean, like, that's really nice. I appreciate you calling me sweet, but 4:30 I wake up for nobody for 4:30. Uh-oh, sure. I can't promise I'll be fully awake, though. He's gonna try. Pandora laughed lightly and just as she went on her merry way up the stairs. Oh, nice. Alright, what we got? The elevator. 2! 2! Ashley and I followed suit, and we were met with another digital kiosk at the top of the staircase. Let me see, we got the atrium. Oh, the atrium! I remember that. I kind of remember the jazz club. I think I remember the climbing center, and I think I remember the spa lounge. I remember the spa lounge. I remember the climbing center too. I only halfway remember the jazz club. Let's see what's up. I also do remember the atrium. Like, I remembered, like, vividly the atrium backdrop, but we'll see if it's different. The screen displayed another map. This time we had the atrium, the spa lounge, the climbing center, the jazz club. What kind of mansion has a climbing center in it this kind? Maybe the owner is an eccentric rock climber, the ultimate rock climber. I think an assortment of activities presented to cater to the unique talents of various students. In fact, the kitchen pantry is a wealth of resources. I was quite surprised to find such fresh and rare ingredients. I imagine other ultimate chefs would be pleased with the selection as well. That's a good point. There was a theater on the first floor after all, and Forte and other ultimate performers would probably utilize that room as a place to further hone their skills. The Preservation Project. It seemed like this group wanted to accommodate a myriad of intense and unique students. I wonder what kind of group had the ability to provide such a vast selection of activities and resources. Where to first? I'm curious about the climbing center. This mansion must be huge if it can house something like that in there. I'd like to see the spa lounge. It must be a lovely, relaxing place. Echo, why don't you decide? What? Okay. I know that you wanted to go to the climbing center, but you ain't telling me about your ultimate. We've been friends for apparently 4 years, and you didn't tell me that you were the ultimate jockey. We're going to the spa lounge like Pandora wants. Let's explore the spa lounge. We inspected the map for a route to the spa and made our way there in no time. No, I wanted to go to the climbing center. What do we got? Nice. The spa lounge was serene and welcoming. A shallow pool was laid into the marble floor, and a mesmerizing opalescent ceiling mirrored onto the pool above it. Look at this place. There's a mansion. You're dang right, it's a mansion. Several relaxing loungers lined the walls for general leisure. Off to the side was a storeroom stocked with perfumey inventory of scented oils, bath soaks, and skincare products. Just by the storeroom doorway sat a familiar kiosk. I'd love to spend some time in here. Pandora sat in one of the lounge chairs, stretching her arms above her head before relaxing her hands on her lap. Now that I think about it, are the facilities all meant to be self-run by the residing students? Pandora brought up an interesting observation. The kitchen offered fully automatic meals, but they still provide the option of having the students utilize the kitchen and tools. Peeking into the storeroom, I saw a separate hallway of individual private rooms labeled services, facial, massage, and aromatherapy. You might be right. There are all those little specialized rooms with all sorts of specific equipment. If you consider my and Art's talent, there might be a racetrack or a golf course outside, along with other outdoor recreation talents like angling or skiing. Perhaps that would be a very exciting prospect. That could mean that other facilities and activities have features that are tuned accordingly to certain talents. Yeah, from a glance, I just featured the study. I figured the study was a library, but I suppose there are resources there that might be fitted for talents that will require research or writing. To think such an extraordinary place existed to benefit the many pursuits of equally extraordinary people. So did either of you do anything special to train for being an ultimate student? Je ne sais pas. Is that how you spell that? if you had a gun to my head and you said spell je ne sais quoi, and you gave me 100 chances, I'd be a dead man still. Although some could say I bake too much, I simply suspect my pastries have ended up in the right hands for me to be considered. I don't really do anything special either. I race quite a bit, but most of my time is spent plainly practicing. Like Pandora, there have been a scout in my audience. I couldn't stay. I see. Just putting in the hours, so to speak, huh? Or perhaps you were lucky enough to get selected for the opportunity to meet others cut of the same cloth, right? Rather, couldn't agree more. I can read, I promise. I'm very charmed to be in such delightful company. Neither of them seem to do anything particularly intensive to earn their title. I wondered about the others, whether or not they were trained. Well, now that we think about it, the homie definitely wasn't trained. Art. I kind of can't imagine that Missy was trained. I could see Sei being trained. I'm not sure about Charisma Man. Alright, lucky enough to be selected. After taking a beat into to relax in the spa lounge, we made our way to the climbing center next. Are you happy, Ashley? We're going to the climbing center. Are you happy? Nah, I love my homie. Ooh, this place is a little bit different. The climbing center was a vibrant, spacious place. The artificial rock arch formations carved the walls and reached upwards of what looked like 3 stories high towards a bright, naturally lit ceiling. Off to the side was a perpetual locker room filled with ropes and harnesses, as well as a small vending machine full of energy drinks and water bottles. Well, this place is huge. I can't imagine how anyone gets up there. They climb, my dude. I craned my neck up so far to look up, and I was like, ow, my neck. Inspecting the array of colorful grips that dotted the sprawling ascended surface, the hanging ropes disappeared into the distance of the light. The world is certainly full of interesting people and talents. Where there's a will, there is a way. Pandora poked out from under one of the arch formations, just as taken with the incredible sight as I was. That's for sure. I'm an athlete, but I can't say I excel here. I don't really have a good tolerance for heights. Don't mind me asking, how did you two discover your talents anyway? Ashley pondered this question for a second. I was raised in the countryside on a farm, so it probably came to me like second nature. As a child, going to the racetracks with my father was honestly just another errand. That is, until he let me ride the horse myself. Then I felt a love for exhilarating competition at that point. I was homeschooled by my mothers, one a teacher and one a prolific baker. They taught me everything I know about baking, so I cherished the enjoyment people felt when tasting my baked goods. Eventually, I too felt a love for the task at hand. Wow, you two are truly incredible. Echo, you're an incredible person too. Don't let labels deter you from speaking to us as anything but your peers. Okay, Pandora, I see. She's got that riz. Echo knows. He's like, huh? I don't know about that. He's rizzed up right now. I know it, Echo. You fiend. Yeah, Echo. Don't think too much about title stuff. We're still people, you know. Don't think too much about title stuff. Such a remarkable feat would be difficult to put aside. He's not rizzed up. He's just overwhelmed being surrounded by so many ultimates. They were so humble talking about their ultimate talents, I wondered if I could ever measure up. Yeah, I guess it would also be really shocking. Ending up figuring out, oh my gosh, my bestie, my best friend, ultimate, never told me. Wandering to our last destination, we came across the jazz club. It was a welcoming venue, warm furniture, and lighting that gave and casual elegance to the room. Table settings for the audience occupied the majority of the space, with a small stage in the corner for the performers. The close proximity between the two made the scene much more intimate. A small green room was behind the curtains and connected to equipment and instrument storage. The bar opposite the stage had shelves upon shelves of beverages locked behind a sturdy glass case. Pretty classy atmosphere, huh? I wonder how many Ultimate students have toured this room for performances. Many, I'm sure. It's well kept among the rest of the room, so it'd be no surprise someone would feel comfortable here. Then a thought crossed my mind, and the music stopped. Do you think I could be some sort of ultimate jazz performer or ultimate bartender? Have you ever handled a musical instrument before or mixed beverages? No, but who knows? Maybe if I pick something up, I'll suddenly be stricken with an ultimate talent, revelation, or play like a pro. Cyrus said maybe it's an innate trait waiting to be discovered. It just occurred to me that perhaps all these rooms aren't just suited for students with existing skills. They could also be a sandbox for budding talents. I might be the ultimate pine. Look out, trees. Pine is prime. I'm number one. I suppose there's no harm in trying. Why not? I'd like to see the moment a talent has been realized. Relieved that they supported my odd idea, I felt a strange confidence rising. Cheerfully, I went behind the stage, picked an instrument up that I thought would suit me, and let me tell you. Pandora and Ashley. They took a seat in the front row and watched in anticipation. I felt like a kid going through a toy box, how many options there were. How about the cello? Go for it. It's time. Echo Pine on the cello. Let's go. Pandora cheerfully cheered me on as I gripped the bow and placed my fingers on the strings of the neck. I laid the bow to the strings. I was nervous, but if what Cyrus said was true, and my talent was waiting to be discovered, I couldn't wait to realize it. I took a deep breath and I drew the bow. And then... Squidward is my best friend in the world. Squidward is my best friend in the sea. The sound I created tore through the air like a giant rubber duck was being unceremoniously stepped on. It was awful. I saw Ashley and Pandora flinch from the sound, but they put on a brave face for my sake. I chuckled nervously and gently placed the instrument back where it was originally placed. Ha ha ha, guess that's not it, huh? Whoops-a-daisy. I wobbled off the stage and plopped wearily down at the table with Ashley and Pandora. I was beyond embarrassed. Don't despair. Oh, you said the trigger word. You just haven't found it yet. Yeah, Echo, I didn't skip one. Yeah, Echo, not just anyone can handle an instrument. I mean, I thought that thing was supposed to be played like a giant guitar. Thank you, Ashley. I'm surprised you even knew how to hold it. I've seen performers, so I was just kind of imitating what I saw. Oh, well, that makes sense. Pandora held my hand in a firm grasp. Listen, we're going to find out what your talent is. If we have to play 100 instruments poorly, at least we're one step closer to reaching our goal. Hey, Pandora, I don't know why you are so devoted to this goal now, but you know what? Thank you. Pandora reassured me, and Ashley gave me a warm smile. Thanks, you two. Come, let's keep exploring. Yeah, ain't no way she lives. No shot. Either she lives, or either she dies, or she's the mastermind. There's only two options. We left the jazz club. Outside the room, we ran into an unperturbed Cyrus and Lyle in the hallway at the foot of the entryway. Hello there, having a little fulfilling time exploring? Yeah, totally. I still felt a little exasperated from the cello mishap, but hey, look, I tried to play it off as best as I could. What's up with you? Don't tell me you're already tired. There's still a lot to explore. Lyle, please. It isn't a race to make ourselves familiar with the different rooms. No, we are actually just about done here anyway. It was just my luck that that room appeared to be soundproof. Based on their lack of adverse reaction, it seems that neither Cyrus nor Lyle heard the disastrous sounds of the cello being poorly utilized. Then the sound of a ringing and a voice came through the speakers. Your attention, please. All students assemble in the second floor atrium for a special welcome ceremony. Okay, well, let's go. Special welcome. Don't mind if I do. It's a special welcome ceremony. I'm gonna feel real welcome in the atrium. Yes, I will. The five of us collectively made our way to the requested location, chatting about the discoveries along the way. You know what we ain't doing in a minute? Save. We gonna do that. There we go. Alright, now that we've saved, the end of the second floor hall fed directly into a spacious, airy locale. Oh yeah, this is way different. The atrium's way different now, and it's I do like it a lot. Also, the stairs, I'm not sure if the stairs here even existed in the atrium before. I think it was just like a real like nice greenery area, but like this looks much nicer. It's so fresh and so clean. The natural light poured in from the high glass ceiling, the lush trees that framed the circular lobby, reached toward the sky well past the ring of decorative plants that occupied the second floor. Small shrubbery lined the base of the trees in a circular fashion, following the framing, the eclipse shape of the room. A well-mannered living wall lined the first floor's foundation. A bronze globe at the very center of the atrium drew the room together. Light and warmth flooded my body, filling me with serenity. Whoa! A familiar, excitable voice cut through the air, disturbing that serenity. Check this place out! Dang, wouldn't it be awesome if they had a mini golf set up here? How cute would that be? Plenty cute. Yeah, sure, whatever. Art and Missy entered the atrium from the foyer stairway. I was surprised to see Missy still hanging out with Art, alongside the timid Sei trailing behind them, no less. Slowly, our populace gathered in the center of the atrium. Kanan and Forte leisurely made their way in much later than the rest of us, but arrived regardless. I saw all the students I had previously met, but afterwards no one else came. Kind of a tiny class, huh? Yeah, I was gonna say, there was just 10 of them. And I'm not sure that we meet any more, but I don't quite remember. But look at all the babes! Look at them! The babies, I'm so proud. Art whispered the same observation I made. Is it true that our class was rather small, or but we were really going to be learning any more here? I was gonna say. I conceded calling the group of students of class was only appropriate. A hologram visual was presented from the centerpiece of the globe. A familiar voice came from the overhead speakers as it announced the same announcer from earlier in the dining hall. Ooh, the potentially spooky voice. This is a special announcement indicating the welcome of all present students. The Preservation Project Group would like to humbly welcome you all to the provided safe house. As you're all well aware, the safe house has been sequestered off from the growing concerns of disaster. You need not worry any longer of those concerns here. Disaster? I peered across the room to see the expressions of affirmation. Everyone seemed to have relating concerns. What y'all talk about disaster? I knitted my brow. What? As ultimate students and Echo, we provided you with the best amenities, and man, that's so. Let me. I don't want to. I'm not gonna stay too long on this because we got a lot of game to get through. Amenities for me is like anemone for Nemo of Finding Nemo. Man, I can almost never say it right the first time, but then like when I stop for a second, I'm like, yes, it's amenities, not anemones, not like a sea anemone. And environments to most efficiently cultivate your skills and talents in utter safety. You may use the facilities to the full extent during the requisite hours. However, do not think of it simply as a safe house. This location is more than well equipped for you to thoroughly indulge yourselves with exquisite experiences. You are invited to freely enjoy yourselves. Welcome to the Apothegm. Yep, welcome there. Awesome! I came to play. Art audibly pumped his fist in the air. Awesome! Although no one else displayed such a loud presentation of excitement, the other students were vividly talking amongst themselves at the prospect of such a blessing regardless. The production cut out as the announcement concluded. The students began to wander around again, likely trying to figure out the climbing center and the spa lounge had to offer. Everyone seemed to be breaking into their own groups while I stood still. I was excited, but feeling a certain uncertainty stirred within the depths of my mind, suffocating my enthusiasm. Did I really belong here? As far as I knew, I wasn't an ultimate student. No intense talent, no masterful skills, not even interesting experiences. I started to feel sick with anxiety. Hey Echo, I'm going to the spa with Pandora. Would you like to join us? Ashley's voice brought me out of my thoughts. No thanks. You two go ahead. I'm actually feeling a little tired from all this running around. I think I'll take a nap. Ashley looked at me with silent, understanding eyes. Alright then, if you change your mind, you know where to find us. She gave me another quick hug before pairing off with Pandora. Ash, why didn't you tell me about your talent? I muttered under my breath before sulking off. Why didn't you tell me about my talent? Could have used the help. I trudged down the stairs back to the first floor foyer. There I saw Kanan in the almost same position from when I first met her. She didn't tell me her ultimate talent when we introduced ourselves. Perhaps she doesn't have one either. I thought about approaching her to ask, but my throat felt dry. I didn't feel like being disappointed in the case that she did have an ultimate talent. I quickly turned before Kanan could even notice me when... Click. I heard the sound of a shutter clicking. Turning at the sound, I saw Kanan developing a picture from an instant camera. Huh? How do you have a camera? What do you mean, how? I just thought we were disallowed all of our personal possessions. I didn't have anything in my room when I asked Ash, rather, she didn't have anything in her room either. Fair enough. I'm a photographer. I need my tools, don't I? So, are you the ultimate photographer? Kanan didn't reply. She bowed her head once in a slight nod. I'ma take your picture. There's 1,000 words in a frame. The picture you just took. She reluctantly handed me the photo being developed. It's me! Her photo captured the moment I began to turn down the hall to avoid speaking to her. I thought she hadn't noticed me. This is... I know what you're thinking. It's a horrible picture of you. I know it is because it's not a picture of you per se. Huh? Confused, I stared at the photo longer. I'm not a portrait photographer. I specialize in composition form called the Rückenfigure, which translates to back figure in German. I don't expect you to understand. I don't expect you to understand. I listlessly handed the photo back to her. That's interesting. Kanan silently took the photo and stuck it in her pocket before occupying herself with the camera once more. But I admit I didn't make an attempt to sound enthused. In truth, I wasn't. Kanan did have an ultimate talent after all. Bye. Oh gosh! Talent! I have no ultimate talent! What's going on? Why am I here? They even have a bracelet for me, so I must be here for a reason. What's going on? If that was the case, what was I doing here? My heart and mind were racing. Was I just an anomaly? Was this all just a mistake? Did I accidentally take an actual ultimate spot that was meant to be taken? No way. My voice croaked in desperation. This lavish mansion was meant to protect ultimate students, and those students and their wide-reaching influential skills, those students who were dexterous masters of their craft, those students with charismatic auras reassured my averageness, those students who created nostalgia-inducing delights, those students who won races with pure skill. Oh, repulsion rose in my stomach. I felt my breath shorten, my chest tighten. Suddenly I felt weak. I look at this! Look at the quivering of the fawn, man! What's wrong with you? You're shaking. I barely heard Kanan. I leapt for the front door. I needed to evacuate myself from the overbearing presence of the people who accomplished the near impossible feats at such a young age. I was just an insignificant bug who wandered into a lion's den. Wait, hold on a minute. Like, oh, that's fine. The lions ain't gonna eat you. They eat meat. They don't eat bug. I can't compete. I don't belong here. Blue skidoo, we can too. I grasped the door handle so tight I saw my knuckles turn white. But soon, oh, that hurts. I only saw black. Good contrast too. Knuckles turn white, only see black. I warily opened my eyes. I was in bed, back in my own personal room. Or so I thought. Forte was reclining in the love seat in the corner of the room, combing over what looked like sheet music. I was in Forte's room. So you're awake? Yes. He set the leaflet down before approaching me with an offering of water. I graciously accepted, and the cup gathered my thoughts. My right hand was tingling. After regaining my composure, I managed to croak out a question. Forte. What happened to me, man? Curious? That's what I would like to know. What do you mean? After the welcome announcement, I inspected the jazz club but was quickly uninterested in the venue. Oh. I liked it. I went downstairs to retreat to my personal quarters for the afternoon, but I was promptly stopped at the foot of the stairs by Kanan. She said you collapsed the front door of the foyer front doors. Kanan told me to keep an eye on you and quickly left. I scoffed. How considerate of her to have someone else take care of me. But why you collapsed, she did not say. It came back to me. I wasn't behaving clearly. Yeah, I remember now. I was talking to Kanan in the foyer, but I felt a need to escape when I was electrocuted when I grabbed the foyer door handle. Electrocuted? Forte was appalled. I, on the other hand, felt nothing. Another sip of water and I closed my eyes. I felt wildly fatigued. Forte looked at me with a concerned silence for a minute. Echo, it might not be my place to say, but you shouldn't feel a need to escape. We're all being generously treated with a safe location to relax, away from danger. No, you don't understand. I don't have an ultimate talent like the rest of you. My head drooped in shame, regret, and humiliation. I don't have any skills or talents to offer the outside world. He felt silent again. Be that as it may, you are still a peer who shouldn't feel outcast from the rest of the group. You must be with us for a reason. I gazed into the water cup blankly. Come, the rest of the group is in the dining hall. I believe they are just starting dinner. Oh, we were only out for like half a day. Oh, easy peasy. That felt like a big old shock. No, apparently not. Forte placed a hand on my shoulder before offering his hand. Tell me out of the bed. I complied quietly. Hey everyone, I got electrocuted. I got zippy zapped. The dining hall was accompanied by our small class. Hey, there you are. Art waved at me from the end of the table as I entered the dining hall, causing everyone's head to turn. Ashley and Pandora quickly ran to my side. What happened to you? Are you okay? Folks, please allow Echo to have a seat before bombarding any questions. The rest of the class paused their dinner as Forte helped me to an open seat. Kanan wasn't at the table, rather standing next to the entryway. She must have noticed me looking at her and turned away once more. Before I could confront her about what happened in the foyer, Missy placed a pork cutlet meal before me. Ashley wouldn't stop fretting and concerns about your well-being, so I took the liberty of getting a meal ready for you whenever you decided to come down. Oh, thank you, Missy. This is just what I needed. How did you know? I didn't. Perhaps I was just lucky. She shrugged indifferently, but I saw her mouth turn to a small grin. She seemed satisfied with having pleased me. I gave her a small smile back and helped myself to a small portion to regain my energy. Oh man, this is delicious. Our little community had dinner together, conversing lightly. Everyone touched on mutual awareness of the preservation project. It was a project which ultimate students who signed up would be placed under the protective custody to preserve their skills to benefit the future. Similar stories of talent discoveries arose. Certain groups Or rather, students grew up in an environment where they all knew that particular skill, yet they rose to super excel beyond wildest expectations. I, of course, had no place in the dialogue. I hadn't paid no specific attention to the chatter, my mind going blank with white noise whenever the topic of ultimate students came up. As we all finished our meals, Missy and Cyrus offered to pick up the dishes as everyone else restlessly waited to hear what happened to me. Echo, you have no idea how worried I was. Ashley was holding my hand tightly. Ash! My hand! It still tingles, please don't! If you're feeling up to it, would you mind telling us what happened? I glanced over at Kanan to the entryway and her face was an iron mask. Well, I was feeling tired from running around on the mansion, exploring, so the welcome announcement in the second floor, so I decided to go back to my room for a nap. Going down to the foyer, I was curious about the front door. So naturally, I grabbed the door handle, but was electrocuted by it. Forte found me, collapsed, and carried me back to my room to rest. You were electrocuted by the door handle? I was electrocuted by the door handle. They said close the door and keep it closed forever. Perhaps we should investigate. What, and get electrocuted ourselves? Of course not. I simply wanted to inspect the door handle for any suspicious mechanisms. We should also check the floor maps again to see if there are any other similarly rigged exits. And what would this accomplish? Yeah, now Lyle is worked up like, maybe this whole thing is an escape room. It would ensure the safety so that nothing like this ever happens again. But our safety as ultimate students in the preservation project safe house has already been compromised by the existence of a trap. Yeah, I was gonna say. He's right. The group fell silent. Cyrus was right. It seems as though we had already fallen into some kind of trap the moment we woke. Yeah. Like, why would the preservation project all have us get knocked out essentially and placed in those rooms? That don't make a little bit of sense, huh? So we're just going to do nothing? Kanan's indifferent voice broke the silence. Kanan's right. We shouldn't sit idly by after our friend Echo was put in danger. We gotta investigate as if, if not as an insurance measure, but to get to the bottom of the trap that caused such harm. The group agreed and we went our separate ways to search for clues. Before anyone could get very far, an announcement rang in. Alright, let's get searching! Oh wait, is that a body? Is it been discovered? It is now 9 p.m. Nighttime will begin at 10 p.m. Facilities will be closed until 7 a.m. in the morning. Even the darkest night will end and the sun will rise. Seems we'll have to suspend our investigation until tomorrow. There's no use in wandering aimlessly in the dark. I suggest you all rest up. I realize the situation is dire, but please do your best to save your energy for tomorrow. Sounds like a plan. We shall meet here tomorrow morning for breakfast and discussion. Yeesh, some first day, huh? One by one, everyone filtered out into the dining hall, low, concerned murmurs filling the corridors. There's only 10 of us. I don't think it would be too many concerned murmurs. Ashley stopped me back in the dining hall as we left, as the last few left, rather. Look, Echo, I'm sorry if you felt hurt that I didn't tell you about my talent. Huh? How did you know? I'm your best friend, aren't I? I can tell when you're distraught. It was after that special welcome announcement that I noticed you were off. It must have been difficult feeling like you don't belong. I admit it's been awfully overwhelming. I never meant to keep it from you, it's just... I feel like being involved with me could only ever cause trouble. Huh? Not the horse racing aspect, but the ultimate student aspect. To get tied up with such intense people could only amount to ultimate levels of trouble. Ash, you know I'm your friend through and through. I don't think being friends with Ashley Westbridge Horse Girl is any trouble at all. Yeah, but being friends with Ashley Westbridge Ultimate Jockey might just get you killed. Ashley giggled. Hey, I love you, Echo. You really are a good friend. Of course. I love you too. Oh man. Man, that gives me such vibes from like Your Turn to Die, man. Oh man, I know that part was written before the Your Turn to Die part, I'm pretty sure. Because I think we played that part like 4 years ago. The part where Joe's like, I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not going to spoil anything for Your Turn to Die if you've never played Your Turn to Die. If you haven't, go play it. Please 100% do, it's so great. The final chapter. Oh, it's coming soon. I won't say soon, but there's been hints and teasers. We made our way back to the... Imagine it gets released when this gets released. I'd lose my mind. We made our way back to the living quarters and said our goodnights. Before entering my room, I saw Art and Lyle lingering in the hallways. Hey, you two, is something wrong? Nope, in fact, we're having a strategy meeting. Strategy meeting? Art asked me if perhaps being locked in a mansion is a big puzzle. Think about it, escape rooms exist, so maybe this mansion is just one giant escape room. I admit it's not impossible. It does sound very interesting, right? So what do you think? I'm not sure yet. I have a feeling it could be some convoluted ARG scheme. ARG? Alternate reality game. It's a type of game that is interacted through different media experiences, whether it's online or in real life. ARGs have kind of been big. I feel like have gotten even bigger since the release of this game. Like between the 4 years and now, I feel like there's been a massive increase in the ARGs. That being said, task involving decrypting audio logs on a website and doing something odd like cleaning up a local cemetery. I see. Given those examples, it's plausible that a defuse and electrocuting door could be added to that list of tasks, right? Well, they're typically employed to public to boost attention for a product. What the product is in this scenario, I'm not certain. And if this is an ARG, then the Puppet Master must be setting these traps up, much like an escape room's game master. An escape room and an ARG sound pretty similar in terms of involvement and puzzle solving. I suppose they're not entirely different entities. Wow, you got it all figured out already. I mean, like, unless it's just not true, which it could not be. Puzzles are my strong suit. I said goodnight and left Art and Lyle to conclude their strategy meeting as I returned to my personal room. Cool. Look at my room. Let me pause for a second. It is it is springtime and my allergies are kicking my butt right now, so I'll be right back. I felt the mental and physical exhaustion hit me at once as I let myself collapse onto the bed. You did just get electrocuted, my dude. To think I'd be stuck in a luxurious mansion with super talented students. My life before this had hardly been as eventful as a single day. I lived a rather average life with I was an average kid that no one understood. With little trouble one could hope for. It was almost utopian in a sense. I never thought of it being boring or repetitive. It was like my mundane life caused me to be a little more worrisome than any other person, likely as a will to keep everything the same going forward. However, this strange situation threw me into a state of disarray. I was wholly out of my element. Above all, I couldn't help but feel guilty for making Ash worry. Whatever it is I found myself in, I clearly didn't have a place. I should get some proper rest. The room was mysteriously fixed with a few sets of clothing in my closet and personal bathroom. Closet in my personal bathroom. I left my body relaxed under the repetitious rhythm of a warm shower. Crawling under the weighty covers, I turned down the lights, and let my eyes slowly drift closed. Tomorrow, what are we going to discover? When the moon hits your eye like a big pizza pie, that's some more. Oh, interesting. That's how the prologue ends, man. Or is this the start of the man? Let's just keep on keeping on. Ring, ring. Oh, my eyes at the sound of the alarm. In my personal room, I sat up from the bed and took in the surroundings. So, the events of yesterday weren't part of some kind of strange dream, huh? Also, you can't see it, but like, where my head is, it does now say prologue. Maybe I should be on the other side. I'll be on the other side. There we go. When you reach the other side. I'm on the other side. You'll have to see it. All right. My personal room that I initially thought was luxurious and comfortable now felt oppressive. It wasn't mine. It couldn't be, since the mansion we found ourselves in was for ultimate students. I was reminded of my mediocrity and let my head fall back on the pillow. Ugh, I don't want to see everyone. I grumbled and drew my covers over my head, usually trying to will away the shame of yesterday. Oh, man. Heard Ash's muffled voice through the door. Morning, Echo. Just coming to check in on you. Just give me a minute. I'll be right out. Man, goodness gracious. Now I gotta put on clothes. I gotta go. I gotta talk to Ash. Properly dressed. I met Ash outside my door of the living quarters. Good morning, Ash. I don't want to be here. What you doing? We walked casually down the foyer. You slept all right last night? Yeah, I slept all right considering. I hope you're not feeling too down about this whole situation. I'm still coming to terms with it, but I'm feeling a little better after getting a little rest. And besides, everyone has been really nice. That's good to hear. You've always been good at bouncing back. I think it's gonna be a little bit more than bouncing back this time. And before we were met with two other students, loitering out in the outside the dining hall. Sorry, I'm not a morning person. Neither am I, but I'm really curious about the door. The door seems scary. Good morning, Say, Lyle. Good morning. Let's investigate to the best of our abilities, yeah? You seem better, Ecto. Not Ecto, Echo. Nothing a good night's rest can't take care of. True that. Yeah, morning. It's weird. I'd be having dinner right about now, but instead I'm waking up. Huh? What do you mean? One of my watches is set to my hometown time, and it says it's 7:43, Sunday, the 6th of December. 7:43, that's a 12-hour time difference from now. Oh, the date checks out. I was just thinking that the, winter solstice will be coming up in about 2 weeks or so. Assuming we're somewhere westward of Say's date, today would be Saturday. Oh, yeah. Interesting. I guess since we're all from different places, the time for certain people would be a little different. Even so, all of our alarms were set to the same current time, so we'd eventually wake up on your uniform schedule, right? Yeah, we're like recovering from jet lag. A bit unfortunate for those with a larger time difference, though. Winter is too cold, but New Year's is fun. It is kind of. I don't know. I don't really like it. New Year's is okay. Hold on, I gotta text massage. Oh, Lamau. One of my friends texted me. This isn't actually really like pertinent information, because I'm pretty sure I've already mentioned a couple of times that a couple of my friends are getting married this year and the next year. I think Cody Rhodes was just finished being like the best man at somebody's, some random fan's wedding. He was like, yeah, I'll be your best man. And I was like, Cody, you're crazy. And then my friend just messaged me, bro, do you think I get Cody for my wedding? And I was, those are the conversations me and my friends have. In the dining hall, the familiar warm aura of fresh bread, Cody Rhodes, by the way, a professional wrestler. Bread, because I realize now, as I told that story, that who's this random Cody feller? Warm aura of fresh bread wafted through the room, my senses swathed in comfort. Pandora placed a basket. Look at all that bread! Filled to the brim with freshly baked delicacies at the center of the dining table. Good morning, you two. You've been working hard, huh? Of course, I had to get an early start if I wanted to indulge with all of you with some sweet treats to begin the morning. I felt the kiss of savory fragrances seep into my body, the warmth of a sun-kissed, dewdrop-covered morning. The smell alone was sublime. Yo, we better feast on some bread. Such a lovely setting. Yeah, it would be almost a shame to eat it. Almost. We wouldn't be doing Pandora justice if we didn't enjoy it. You're too kind. Help yourself. That's alright, we'll wait for the others. I sat at the dining table with Ashley and patiently waited for the rest of the class to arrive. The rest of the class filtered in and we began helping ourselves to Pandora's treats as well as beverages provided by the automatic menu. After we settled in, Missy stood at the head of the table to begin the discussion. Good morning all, I trust you all had a good night's rest. Our topic this morning will consist of primarily the problematic nature of the foyer's front doors. We'll also be investigating the rest of the mansion for any other exit that might have a similar mechanism keeping us from going outside. You may split into groups or investigate as individuals, but if you find anything at all, please utilize the digital kiosk found in the room you're in to relay a message. Really, a mesh as a digital kiosk can do that? Yes, I discovered with Cyrus before we retired to our rooms last night. Which is something to keep in mind, you know? As it turns out, the digital screens are not just for displaying maps or the specified functions it provides on its resident's home. It functions as a remote messaging system between all the digital kiosks in the mansion. For example, it can be used to communicate between the first floor and the second floor, and we can assume further floors as we gain access to them. It's a rather rudimentary feature though. One would have to scan their bracelet on the screen across the mansion to unlock the feature and type using the on-screen keyboard. You cannot send to specific recipients though. Once you completed and sent the message, it will show up on the screen for about 2 minutes before deleting itself. Oh well, this seems like a murder setup to me. For the most part, the messaging system is used to translate the voice announcements to text for those who are hard of hearing. The mansion is truly all-encompassing in its endeavors to accommodate all, rather, and that's precisely why we must investigate the reason the mansion itself would cause its residents harm. The real murder was the mansion itself. The group unanimously agreed. The meeting concluded as we finished breakfast. Everyone decided to split up and search for Blue's clues. Let's do it. Get your search on, get your search on. While I was still deciding where to go, Lyle approached me. Hey, Echo, would you mind coming with me to investigate the foyer doors for a moment? Huh? Why me? Because you were the one who experienced the shock firsthand. I was wondering if we could go back and retrace your steps to find clues along the way. I guess we could, but in all honesty, there's not a lot to retrace, I don't think. I walked up and I was like, I gotta get out of here! And that's about it, my dude. Nonsense, there's no harm in a second look with a fresh pair of eyes. Yeah? So, you might see something different this time around. We'll see about that. Turn it around. In the foyer, Missy was already doing her own investigating, intensely staring at the walls. So what exactly were you doing yesterday? I thought carefully about what I was going to say. I didn't want to tell anyone that I'd been worrying about not having a talent, which led me to reaching for the door handle in the first place. I thought I'd be outcast if the other knew I wanted to run away. After the welcome announcement, I was feeling a little tired from running around that day, so I went backstairs to my personal room. And? Like I said at dinner last night, in passing I was curious about the door and wanted to go outside. Is that so absurd a reason to want to reach for the door? Whoa, no need to get defensive. I was just wondering if you saw anything suspicious along the way. Suspicious? Kanan immediately came to mind. Forte said she just left me collapsed for him to take care of me. What she did after, why did she flee after I collapsed? I can't really think of anything at the moment. Huh. I guess I'll have to dig a little deeper in the scene of the crime. Thanks, Echo. I'll do my own investigating. I don't know how much I helped, but you're welcome. Lyle went over to the door and inspected the surroundings, carefully tracing the panel for any hidden mechanism. In the meanwhile, I was curious. I wonder if Forte could help me figure out what went on with Kanan's disappearing act. Kanan will be fine. Forte was, unsurprisingly, in the theater, inspecting the backstage area. Hello, Echo. I'm doing well, I hope. A little worried about the electrocuting door, but fine nonetheless. Excellent. I wish for you to keep your spirits high despite the scare. Should you need any assistance, I shall offer my services. Yeah, about that. I wanted to ask you about yesterday. I thought you might want to know more. However, the truth is so. What I told you yesterday is all the information I have. I see. I admit I didn't want to expect much more than what he told me. The story seemed straightforward enough, especially considering the emergency. Maybe you could tell me if you noticed anything odd? Forte paused. I suppose there was a trifling fact that Kanan fled to the second floor right away. It's strange, had I been so startled by an event, I would have retreated back to my quarters on the first floor instead. Upstairs, huh? Other than Kanan fleeing the scene, I can't particularly think of anything to note. I suppose the whole ordeal was quite frightening. I'm sorry, Echo, I know it's a dire situation, but honestly, I'm not particularly equipped in this sort of thing. Mental hoops and note-taking require of an investigation are far too overwhelming. That's okay, I appreciate the thought. And you're my dude, so you know. We gonna get our own secret handshake going in. Actually, that little tidbit helps. Does it now? Bravo for figuring something out. Yeah, I know, I'm pretty good. I'm pretty dang good in here. I'm not, I don't want to say I'm the best in the world, but I am the best to ever. I'm the best to never do it. I'm made. I do like the best to never do it as a moniker. I made my way through the foyer, past, because, you know, like the best to ever do it. I like the best to never do it. Past an intensely focused Lyle and Missy, up on the second floor. At the top of the second floor, the top of the stairs rather, I saw the digital kiosk light up. There it is, displaying a message on the screen. Hi, climbing center, smile. Well, it's certainly working. I paid no attention to the message and continued on. Where could she be? I tore down the hall past the jazz club, climbing center, and spa. However, my search came up short. Looking for Kanon, I assumed? Upon entering the atrium, I saw her sitting lonesome in the center. Kanon. Before I could go confront her again, a ringing sound played on the announcement, and an announcement followed, rather. It is now 9 a.m. on the second day. Please make your way to the second floor atrium for a special announcement. Well, luckily I don't gotta go nowhere. Ugh, what now? The few students that were already on the second floor made their way over. Ash, Art, Cyrus. Hey, did you all see my message? Yes, hello, right back at you. Cool, it works! Yeah. Well, at least we discovered something from Art's linking about. The rest of the students from downstairs arrived shortly after Lyle, Missy, Forte, Essay, and Pandora. Now, what could this be? Maybe the third floor is opened up? That might prove useful. I haven't found much on my end. Whatever it is, they can't just use the messenger system thing instead of making us walk all the way up here. I'm already as tired as is. I'm basically sleepwalking. With the students gathered in the atrium once more, the bronze globe projected an emblem. But this emblem was different. And the voice that announced it was also different. And the text that was displayed, or rather, the dialogue was read, which usually indicates that's bad news. Uh-oh. Welcome, welcome. Thank you for joining us today, and I hope you've been enjoying your special vacation away from it all. The voice was more high energy, never mind, like some sort of radio host or sports announcer. This is an extra special announcement for the students with us today. You've been cordially invited to play a heart-pounding, soul-searching, excitement-inducing game. A game? That's right, a game, and not just any game. This is beyond universal, glamorously popular that many students like yourselves get the privilege to play. Why, yes, it's the Mutual Killing Game. The Mutual Killing Game? The Mutual Killing Game, a game of hope and despair, a game of allies and betrayal, a game of cause and consequences is all so thrilling. Yes, indeed, you're all gathered here today by your own volition to participate in the festivities. To sign up for the Preservation Project is to sign yourselves up for the exclusive game of life and death itself. Upon hearing that detail, I saw all the other students go pale with shock. Y'all signed up for this? Y'all are crazy. We're all thought to be gathered here in the place of safety. The idea was apparently a farce. What the hell is happening? My cry was futile. The announcement was completely automated, and the horrible things it was saying didn't stop. This delightful game will take place over 7 days in the very halls that you just explored a day ago. If you'd like to leave earlier, then just follow this one simple rule, kill a fellow student without getting caught. Trying to leave by any other means will result in consequences some of you may have already experienced firsthand. A little jolt of discovery. Knock, 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 knock. Although I can't see why you would want to leave anyway. Inside you have all sorts of lovely, accommodating, and I did it again, see? Every single time!
accommodating amenities. Live a luxurious life within these wonderful walls. That is, if you can survive. If you kill without getting caught, the ultimate prize, an amazing prize befitting an ultimate student, awaits the victor. I know, it's a lot of information taken all at once. We will allow you to absorb this information for the remainder of the day, so relax in the spa lounge, go climbing, but tomorrow, the real fun will begin. Waluigi! Wobbuffet! Wario! The announcement ended on one final disgusting note before cutting out. The class was an absolute shock. No way, it can't be. Whoa, wait, what is this? A sick, twisted joke is what it is. Everyone was murmuring amongst themselves. There isn't anyone that would take that dreadful announcement seriously, is there? Pandora's voice, voiced the question in the back of everyone's mind. How could one? It was merely an awful jest. There's no way one of us could commit such an awful act against friends. Who said we were friends? Huh? Who knows, maybe one of you is the puppet master running this shtick. This is turning out to be one of the more interesting than the defuse the electric door puzzle. This ARG is fun. Lyle, what on earth are you talking about? You think this is some kind of game? Well, I mean, the voice did just say this is the mutual killing game, so you ain't wrong. What else could I be talking about? I'm the ultimate puzzle master, not puppet master. Being a participant here is simply a test of my skill. I'll figure this puzzle out yet. Don't worry. Uh-oh. Who am I covering up? Pandora? That's fine. She's probably gonna die anyway. Let me stop. Pandora, I hope you survive. No one said a word. I missed a line. Let me grab it for you. The rest of us were paralyzed in the atrium. The immense gravity of the situation was oppressive. No one said a word. Eyes anxiously darted around the room to see who took the announcement seriously and who didn't. To think, just this morning we were having a communal breakfast. The atmosphere was unbearably heavy. I stood there in a cold sweat. I was dumbfounded. It was a killing game, specifically targeting ultimate students. It was selfish to think that this was, during a moment when all of our lives were potentially in danger, but I really didn't belong here. Y'all are all supposed to kill each other, and I'm me. And just like that, what's in the middle? It's a killing game, it's in the middle. Well, sorry, my dude. Oh. Oh! I'm not sure if this was in the original. Let's give it a shot. Hold on. Yeah, I don't think this was in the. It might have been, but I'm still gonna vibe to it. Check out Zero. Alright, Missy. Alright, Art. Cool, Say. What's good, Cyrus? Yeah, kick it. Ashley. Oh, look at Ashley and her sprite. Look at Cannon. Kanan. And look at Forte. I'm Forte. Figaro. Look at that. Look at that. She's got the cooking. Lyle. Oh, you better believe. Ooh, that got cut in half. Oh, look at all these words. Y'all better decipher those words. They're going too fast. You can pause it. I can't. Weird. Oh, man. I'm also very glad that it went out right when it was there. You may now view the main roster, the student roster from the main menu. Oh, awesome. Look at this, man, y'all. Look at this glow up. That could have been in the first release of this. I don't remember, but I don't think so. Maybe it was. Regardless, I think it was really dope. Props. Oh, man. Undeterred by the horrifying announcement, Lyle left the atrium in almost a giddy manner, a smirk painted across his face in a stark contrast to our astonished expressions. So, we're stuck in this weird luxury mansion for 7 days, huh? What's 7 days anyway? It shouldn't be too hard to not kill anyone during that time, right? We've made it this far. Art chuckled nervously. Yeah, you've... Y'all, if you've lived your whole life... Listen, riddle me this, y'all. We've lived your whole life, right? Without murdering somebody. I think you can go another 7 days without doing it. You know, I think that ain't too hard to ask for. But the fact that such an inexplicable requirement like that exists in the first place was difficult to come to terms with. One very simple rule: kill a fellow student without getting caught. What kind of awful rule is that? Please don't joke about the matter. Don't lose your head so hastily. I noticed that the announcement rules didn't outright state that we necessarily needed to kill anyone to begin with. Perhaps Lyle is onto something regarding the ARG angle. Perhaps the risk isn't nearly pressing enough to encourage such drastic action. Despite the loophole Missy mentioned, the pressure of a killing game being presented loomed over us, crushing whatever sense of comfort we initially had. There's no use for us to be glaring at each other in silence. We ought to continue the mansion investigation. Missy shook off the terrible feeling and went on her way to search once more. Investigate? How could she ask such a thing after something so scary just happened? Being able to stay composed at a time like this, Missy isn't easily shaken, huh? Which is nothing to say about Lyle, who's excited. With nothing left to do, we departed from the atrium. But the voice continued to haunt me as I left the room behind. Wah-ha-ha-ha-ha. The awful cackle rang in my ears, filling me with dread. Upon leaving the atrium, the others discovered, in their own, dissolved rather into their own distorted thoughts. With the foyer door barring any chance of escape, any chance of exit, all we could do was wait. All we could do was wait for tomorrow, wherein tomorrow the real fun begins? The so-called game with an odd emphasis on ultimate students? What horrible thing could possibly be in store for us? I felt like I was being suffocated by the decorated walls and furniture, the decorated students and their achievements. What had I gotten myself into? I followed close to Ashley as we drifted away from the atrium, dragging my feet through the hallways. Echo, are you okay? I don't know. That is a real honest answer, ain't it? I was like, I'm not entirely sure, actually. I'm kind of freaking out. Some announcement, huh? Yeah, I'm still reeling from being surrounded by students with super talents. Right. But honestly, I'm just really worried about you. Huh? Yeah, this whole killing game thing seems to center around ultimate title stuff, so I hope you're not getting dragged into it. Echo, you don't need to worry about me. I'm a lot tougher than you think. I've fallen off my horse more times than I can count, but I just get right back up on the saddle. I can't help it. It might be a fluke or some kind of cruel joke, but what if it's not? Sorry, I know there's no use in making myself sick with worry. Don't fret about that, it makes sense. This strange situation would make anybody nervous, but look, I'm not going anywhere. That is a red flag. If anything happens to me, I'm not going down without a fight. And you're my best friend. I don't think being friends with a little worrier is any trouble at all. Ashley tried to reassure me multiple times, but she wasn't getting wrapped up in this absurd killing game. But despite her stubbornness, my heart sank further into darkness. Knowing such a game was thrusted upon her in the first place was awful to... What are we reading right now? You know? What are we reading right now is the real question. Like, riddle me that. What are we reading? Because this could have easily been done in, like, the Echo thought bubble, right? Just in, like, the different color text at the bottom of the screen. But, like, what? Why is this written like this on this screen? At first I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. But now I'm like, really, why though? We'll continue. I didn't want Ashley to reassure me that she wasn't going to die. I wanted to hear that the killing game wasn't real at all, exactly. Ash, if you wouldn't mind, would you mind if I had some time alone? I'm still feeling overwhelmed. Oh, of course, yeah, I understand. In that case, I'll take some time to explore the mansion a little more. I'll always be around if you need anything. Take care, Echo. Oh, man. Ashley departed for the study and I went back to my personal room. Man, you better go after your best friend before she die. It wasn't too much at all. I threw myself onto the bed and let my body slowly sink into the comforter as I sank into my thoughts. I went over the events of this supposed vacation in my head. I woke up in an unknown... Yeah, this is what I'm talking about. Like, we have all this blue text where we're doing our thinking. But then we have the odd moments every so often where we have the black box that also has, like, the orange text. Not orange text, it's white text and it has, like, the golden borders. I'll keep it in mind. I woke up in an unknown room with nothing in my possession and in a panic, threw the door open to find my best friend, Ashley. Ashley is the ultimate... a jockey! That's right. This is just like a little recap. She's the ultimate jockey. She's probably won 84% of her... She hasn't won 84% of her races, my dude. She's won 44%, but she's finished in the top 3 of 84%, my dude. Remember. It's been like a day, my dude. Regardless, she neglected to tell me of such a thing during our friendship. Ashley and I teamed up to explore what we discovered to be a mansion. After meeting a handful of students, we discovered 9 out of 10 of them had something called an ultimate talent. There was one who doesn't have one. Who doesn't have an ultimate talent? It's not you, it's not you, it's me! That's right! I'm me! Within our group, I discovered I was the only one without some sort of ultimate talent. I wanted to speculate that perhaps I had no memory of such a thing, but in all honesty, I wasn't even able to list any interesting memories pertaining to an ultimate talent. I was in a state of disarray. After being overwhelmed by the immense talent that everyone else encompassed, I felt an urge to escape. I ran to the foyer's main door and was pummeled! Shown the right way out! Oh, no, wait a minute. I feel like I gotta do this one. We were shown the right way out. Hold it! That doesn't sound right. How could I possibly... Hold on, what did the log say? How can I possibly still be here then? No, we were... wait, we were pummeled. Hang on. That doesn't sound right. I don't have any physical bruises. Yeah, we were electrocuted. That's right. Upon grabbing the door handle, a shock was sent through me. A shock went through my system, causing me to pass out. I lost consciousness and woke up sometime later in Forte's room. After the shock, the rest of the students became concerned. Our group split up the next morning to search the mansion for any signs of a trap. In the middle of the search, we were summoned to the second floor atrium. Then we heard some horrific news. We're not real! Huh? That's absurd. A very V3 of you. We're here to join the Preservation Project. What? I don't even know what the Preservation Project is. Yeah, we're part of a killing game. That's right. A strange announcement informed us we were a part of to be trapped here for 7 days, and the means of escape was to murder somebody. Not to mention that the real fun would begin tomorrow. It was so strange, almost surreal, unreal. No, I just wished it were unreal. I just wanted to go back home. I wanted to go back to the comfort of complacency and knowing my place. It's not real. It's not real, it's not real. Before I knew it, I had fallen asleep, lost in my thoughts. Chapter 1, Je ne peux rousser. Man, they really said it French, and I said, bruh. So, I really like that it says Chapter 1, Day 2. Because we know there's 7 days. Oh boy. I opened my eyes. And I maybe, so like, I am feeling that we should probably do this by the chapter instead. I know at the old-timey times, back in the day, I would do it, how would I do it? I would do it, I still kind of want to, like, do the full thing, but it would be like a 6-7 hour video, probably, and I don't know if I want to do that to you guys. I think we're going to do chapter by chapter. I'm probably going to, if I take a break, I'll probably end up taking a break for too long. And it'll be a new day. So I'm gonna just say, yeah, because I need to play some other things and make some other things, get some other things ready.
I don't know how often this will be released, because I do want to finish this month. Hey, by chapter 2, we'll know how frequently this will be released, I'll tell you that. That's where I am at this point. We are officially, like, sticking our heads in chapter 1. I'll probably, in that case, cut it, and you guys will maybe see this part as the tail end of the prologue, and we'll start the next part in just a second, or rather in the next video. So I'm gonna like do it. I'm gonna do a finished like intro right now, that outro right now. Then a start to the intro, and then we'll catch up at this point because we're really like just a couple seconds in to chapter 1. So, ladies and gentlemen, chapter 1 will be coming out either in a week's time or it'll be out tomorrow at an earlier point in the day. I'm not sure yet, but I know I am sure about we're gonna finish this thing, we're gonna resolve this thing because I'm actually getting real right back into it. Yeah, I'm excited because I remember this game being good and now you're starting to feel it because I'm also seeing like the improvements that have been made and I was like, you know what? Creator put a whole lot of effort into this, and I'm glad I get to go through it. That being said, toodaloo, flight crew. Until next time, thanks for watching.